sometimes when I don't feel like riding, I just tell myself that I've never ever regretted a ride, ever. Actually, that's a lie, because one time I did regret a ride, but I was quite poorly. But normally, every time you go for a bike ride, it's never a waste of time. So that's what I always remember if I'm feeling a bit lazy or lethargic. What really does my head in about the cycling world is when people pit different, like people who do different disciplines against one another. Like if you're out with mountain bikers and they're laughing at the roadie and vice versa, it just does my head in. Why? We're all cyclists, and why does it matter what kind of bike you ride? I mean, I would think that, I ride all of them, but you get my point, right? I think whether I prefer road, gravel or mountain bikes, it just depends on the location. If I'm somewhere with amazing mountain biking, that's all I want to ride. If I lived in Whistler, I bet you I'd just be on the mountain bike. So yeah, it just depends what's around. I do love my gravel bike probably the most because it's the most versatile, but having said that, every time I'm on my jump bike, I think that's the best bike. Generally, the bike I'm riding at that time, I always think is the best one. I'm like, this is amazing. Well, I'm now a YouTuber, but I did start off blogging, and it was quite a long time ago when I lived in London, and fixed gear bikes were just getting really big, so I got sponsored for riding fixed gear bikes, and then I got a bit into racing. I started writing stuff, and then I started filming stuff, yada yada yada. Here I am, sponsored athlete, living my best life. Best cycling adventure? Tricky question, because I've done a lot of stuff that I've really enjoyed, but one that really springs to mind is when I did this 3-day mountain bike stage race in Iceland, Glacier 360. So it was like you went from point to point, and it was really hard, but the landscape was just phenomenal. And then they'd set up camps for you in the evening, and you got to go in these hot springs and stuff. It was brilliant. Bikepacking, one of my absolute favourite things to do, is basically travelling by bike, but it tends to mean carrying all your own stuff. You can go bikepacking and stay in like youth hostels or hotels or whatever. I call that credit card packing. Bikepacking, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we're probably going to get loads of comments about this, but I think bikepacking is when you carry your own stuff and you sleep in a tent. So, winter gear recommendations, I would say overshoes. Might look silly, in fact they do look silly, but always get some overshoes because you won't regret having warm feet. Other than that, well, just pay attention to your bike and tyres. If it's at all icy, just don't bother. Gear recommendations, I've really gone off track there. Something? Ton of cool bike parks, trails and stuff like that in the UK. You don't even need to go far afield to find any of them. That's why I like gravel riding, because it makes you think differently and see your local area in a new way. When I started riding gravel, I mean, I just couldn't believe how much new stuff I got to ride after having been stuck on a road bike. Well, not stuck, but you know what I mean. On a road bike for years. I thought I knew everything around me. I didn't. So mountain biking, Wales, I would say, although the Scots are going to be cross with me for saying that. Gravel, the Peak District or Dartmoor, and for road cycling, I don't know, you tell us, what is the best place for road cycling in the UK? tip for staying refreshed en route is to take a lovely icy cold can of Jimmy's iced coffee, preferably the oat one because that's my favourite. Other than that, just do make sure you stay hydrated. Along with coffee, I would always have a bottle full of water. If it's super hot, I would put electrolyte tablets in there because that helps you absorb the water and stay hydrated more than plain water alone. So yeah, coffee and water. Cycling stop, that is a tricky one because I have been to some amazing places. I don't know, we did go bikepacking in California, and after 3 days out in the wilderness we rolled down to the ocean, and there's a big, I think it's the Pacific Coast Highway, I think. Anyway, down there was this diner and we all went and ordered clam chowder that came in these big bread bowls and huge pints of beer. And it was amazing. I mean, I guess we were really hungry and I was with good friends and the view was so cool. So yeah, probably that. If you're looking to get into cycling, I think it's nice if you find like-minded people to go with, and it doesn't mean that you have to find like a cycling club and loads of people who are already really good at cycling. There are groups on Facebook, for instance, for all levels of cyclists. So have a look for a breeze ride or for a girls' mountain bike group, stuff like that. And you'll find that people are friendly and welcoming. I mean, they always have been to me, so that would be my best tip.